Good afternoon, Don Briggs, your mayor. Today is Wednesday, August 19th, 2020. My guest today is Thurmont Mayor John Kinnaird. Thank you for joining us today.
Don, it's my pleasure. It's always a pleasure to visit the town of Emmitsburg, city of Emmitsburg.
I know you enjoy a lot of you're always up here and you cover us in on your Facebook page. And I'm going to go over a few things here and then we'll go over that we're still in Governor Hogan's Maryland Strong Roadmap to Recovery, and we're moving into and around stage 2 where certain things are permitted, and we're not at stage 3, but churches, assemblies are still good to go. As of this morning, the COVID information for the state testing is 1,661,701 have been tested. We have 101,235 confirmed cases. 1,066,070 persons tested negative. 3,511 deaths, plus 7 from last week. Frederick County is 3,247 cases, 114 deaths. That's been really stable for a couple of weeks, maybe 7 probable related deaths. In the 21727 zip code, 36 confirmed cases, which is up slightly. For the state, the ICU beds demand is down. The acute beds demand is down. Total beds demand is down. Frederick County will not release any information with regard to beyond this that there are cases, so we don't have that. We have COVID-19 testing at the Seton Center every Tuesday, 12 to 2 p.m. No charge, no appointments needed. For further information, please call 301-447-6102, 301-447-6102. We're still asking for voluntary measures, restraint, phase 1 for our water. We've had some rains, but we're still not out of this yet. Thank you for supporting our local restaurants. Our pool is open. Capacity is set at 111 by the health department. Bring masks. They'll be needed. We are getting close to 70% at the census, and we were at 50% at this time in 2010, and our deadline is September this year. It's $18,000 per person. That's $1,800 a year, $18,000 per person for 10 years. And again, the federal government has a tranche of $675 billion they put out based on this census, so it's very important. Mayor John, thank you for coming up today, and you're doing a lot of wonderful things down there, and everybody loves your Facebook coverage. And
well, not everybody loves it, but everybody's certainly interested in it.
Well, what's new? What's going on in your area?
No, not a whole lot. Just it's a day. Life is normal. We're just getting ready to do an unveiling of some more public artwork within the next week. So there'll be some announcements about that. And just regular stuff where we just finished lighting the balance of our trolley trail, our walking and biking trail in town. Thurmont Lions Club was very helpful with that. They helped develop it, they helped repair it, and now they've helped us with illuminating the trail. And it's a trail that's used constantly. I mean, there's not a day that I go down there that you don't see people walking on trails. So now they'll be able to utilize it into the evening hours and earlier in the morning. But we have a lot of little projects going on. Just like you do here in Emmitsburg.
I know that trolley trail is going to trying to follow its way all the way down to Frederick. Is that going well?
Well, you know, that's an issue. We would hope that eventually the trolley trail would lead itself to Frederick, or at least to the Walkersville area, where it can tie up with with a couple of trails in Frederick City that come out that way. But my personal goal is to get the county to complete the trail from the edge of Thurmont to Catoctin Furnace. And I think that's a doable goal. The trail is there. It just has to be improved, and land permissions have to be granted for it to do that. And the nice thing about that is then we would have a loop trail. You'd be able to start in Thurmont, go to Catoctin Furnace, go up into the state park at Cunningham Falls Park, transfer over to the Catoctin Mountain Federal Park, through Park Central Road, back down Route 77 on our bike trail, the Gateway Trail, and end up in Thurmont again. And we're also working on a northern extension right now, the Trolley Trail, that's going to take us out to Eiler Valley or Eiler Road Park. And from there, it's a short jump down onto Old Kiln Road, and you're right up into Emmitsburg. So we have the ability, hopefully, to connect Thurmont and Emmitsburg as part of our biking trail. And I think that would be a great benefit for all, especially with the student base up here at Mount St. Mary's.
Right. I understand our Commissioner O'Donnell's working.
Yeah, he's working with the county Parks and Trails Commission. I had a seat on that, and I got to the point where I just couldn't commit the time to it. So he's taken my place on it. And that's a great organization. They look at all the parks projects in Frederick County, and they weigh them based on needs and where they are and whatever their planning stages are. And so hopefully within the next couple of years or so, we'll attract some attention for the trolley trail, and hopefully get some money to invest to continue to Catoctin Furnace and also North Emmitsburg.
Right. Will there be football this fall? My neighbor, he plays there. He didn't know. He's still
I don't know. I don't know about that. I know our Little League is playing, and I'm sure that our Catoctin small football teams will be at least practicing, and I'm not too sure exactly what their schedules are right now. But I think that's going to change on a week-to-week basis depending on what the governor's orders are.
Right.
So you could plan it, and it's still not going to work. So you just have to, it's one of those things where you're just going to have to wait until you find out exactly what the current conditions are. That's like Color Fest. We ended up canceling Color Fest, which is a heartbreaker for us because Color Fest represents the largest single fundraising opportunity for all of our nonprofits in Thurmont. And for the Colorfest Incorporated Committee, they're the governing body of Colorfest Incorporated, and they're crafters. And for those crafters to say that they wanted to cancel Colorfest this year because they don't want to have any issues with COVID-19, I think it speaks a lot for their concern for the general public, because we have 100,000 people in Thurmont on Colorfest weekend, and we would not want to risk the health or well-being of any of our residents, number one, and any of the guests that would come to us. So for that reason, we canceled Colorfest this year.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And it got a lot of kickback, but sometimes, as you know, you make decisions that don't please everyone. But you have to make the decisions based on what's best for the community.
Absolutely. What has been the biggest COVID impact on Thurmont?
As with everybody everywhere else, a lot of people were laid off. We haven't had a lot of issues with, there was a concern that there may be issues with, payment of electric bills, water bills, and stuff like that. We haven't seen a big uptick in that. So the town is very very lucky for that. And I think that reflects on the residents' ability to, a lot of them are still continuing to be able to go to work every day. But we do have a sizable number of people that have been laid off, and quite a few that have lost their jobs over this. Of course, then you have all the restaurants and businesses that were basically cut way back to zero for a couple months. Some of our restaurants have opened back up again and are allowing indoor seating, but probably about 50% of our restaurants are still doing carry-out only. Mm-hmm. And I want to thank the residents of Thurmont and the residents of Emmitsburg for being so supportive of all of our local businesses and our restaurants. Mm-hmm. I come up here at Emmitsburg regularly and get dinner. I like to go to everywhere I can to help everybody out. And it's nice to know that all of our residents are doing that and helping keep these small businesses viable and keep them in business during these tough times.
Are you bracing for the fall? for another second round of this, or?
Yeah, well, I think we're, whatever it plays out is what we're going to have to address. The most recent governor's order enforcing or reinforcing the requirements for public places. We've addressed that at our meetings and have put the word out, in the town in general that, these are new regulations. We can't do a lot about it if people violate the regulations. That's why we ask people regularly to please wear a mask if you're within 6 feet of other people, if you're in a public place, stores, businesses and stuff like that. Please wear a mask if you can, just to help not only yourself, but your neighbors and your friends and your relatives.
Okay. Well, thank you. I'll be right back
All right.
to you. Thank
Thank
you,
you, Don.
Mayor John. All right, again, construction work on Dunkin' Donuts is proceeding. The farmer's market is open Fridays 3 to 6:30 p.m. on a lot beside our community center here. Had a great crowd there. If you want fresh bread and fresh vegetables, please join us there. They have about 6 or 7 people there. They're selling things, and it's all good. We did have a little hiccup with the Little League Baseball here last week. Our Commissioner Frank Davis is checking on if we'll have some of that Little League here this weekend. Yard waste, open dates at collection. There will be no September 5th collection for yard waste, and that it'll be on September 12th, and that's a Saturday, and September 19th. Only paper bags or recyclable bags will be accepted, no plastic bags. The site is located on the east side of 15 on Creamery Road at our wastewater treatment plant. We still have some town grant funds available for small businesses. Please contact us. There is new criteria. The next town meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, September 8th at 7:30 p.m. It will be a virtual meeting, but you will be able to call in. At the park, take your mask. We request that, and also if you want to sanitize the park equipment and our all accessible playground, be recommended. Haven't heard back from Food Bank, but they do have supplies there. Be careful of scams, and I think that's where we are right now. I want to ask you a couple, just where are we in northern Frederick County right now? It seems like the real estate market is very hot. Everything's selling very quickly, and
It is. And there's been some renewed interest in Thurmont on small developments, but we haven't seen anything move forward yet, which is curious. Yourself, well, I'm sure you have the same issue up here. House goes on the market, it goes quickly. We have people that have put a house on the market, and by the end of the first day, they've sold it for more than what they're asking for it. So the housing market right now is very hot. I know rentals are up. Rentals don't last very long. But the willingness of developers to invest in new construction, I don't see it quite in place yet. And I'm sure that it has a lot to do with impact fees and upfront costs, and that's always an issue. But we need to make sure that our systems, our infrastructure are covered through our impact fees and the Board of Education fees for our schools. All those things play a vital role in the success of our county. But yeah, I'd like to see some housing opportunities open up in Thurmont, as I'm sure you would like to see some in Emmitsburg. Not the massive stuff you see down in Urbana, but we have 2 or 3 small projects that are in the 25 to 40 house range that are sort of swimming around waiting to move forward. And I hope that shortly one or the other do something. I'd like to see some growth in Thurmont. We really haven't. We've had negligible growth in the last 12 years. The only real growth we had was a 32-unit townhouse development that's started 4 years ago and is finally completed. So that's not a lot of new housing over a 10 or 12-year period. You're looking at an average of 3 or 4 houses a year.
right.
And before the crash of the housing market, we were averaging about 25 or 30 houses a year.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
We just received news this week that Ryan Holmes is coming back to Emmitsburg and to finish off the Brookfield project. And we did have another builder in there last year, but just couldn't work out the price point. But Ryan Holmes is back, and that's good news for that project. We have
Very
about
good.
40 lots, 40 lots in there that are already staked out, and laterals run and to go. So
Very good.
we're very excited about that, and a few more commercial developments are poised.
Yeah,
But
congratulations on getting a Dunkin' Donuts.
It's good.
The Dunkin', we just got one in Thurmont. Well, it's been a few years now, but I can tell you that every morning there's a line of cars at Dunkin' Donuts. So they seem to be very successful. So hopefully you'll have the same success with them up here as we had down there.
It's been my pleasure to really work with you, John. I respect your work and a very good friend. And I want to thank you for, on behalf of me, the town commissioners and residents for taking time to come up here. You're
Absolutely, my pleasure.
a good friend.
Emmitsburg's a great community. It's, I love Thurmont, and I love northern Frederick County. I was educated in the Catoctin feeder system, went to Catoctin High School in Emmitsburg and Thurmont, have a long-standing relationship, and I'm very pleased that you and I have such a good relationship with each other, as we have with your commissioners also. But it's a great community, and I wish you all the best.
Well, thank you, John, very much. Well, that'll wrap up what we've done today, and we'll have another show next week. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a good day.